We'll now get started. The Prime Minister arrives, and after his conversation, he will enter and we will get started. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister now engages the police commander for this police division, following which the Tivoli Marching Band will welcome him to the space. As he enters, I am going to invite you to welcome him to the seating area. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we welcome Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, may I invite you to remain standing as I call Mr. Sean Ennis, Public Relations Officer of the FCJ, to offer prayers.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Before I pray, I just want to sing this quick prayer refrain. Thanks, thanks, I give you thanks for all you have done. And I am so blessed, my soul is at rest. Oh Lord, I give you thanks. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for today. Thank you for the privilege of life. We will never want to ever take it for granted. And we thank you for this great development that has taken place at Garmex, and we ask you to bless us to continue developing our nation. And we pray that today's proceedings will be blessed, organized, smooth, and successful. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. My name is Fabian Brown, and it is, as a member of the Board of Factories Corporation, it's indeed an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be guiding this program this morning. Who would have thought, since 1976, this entire establishment was thought through and came to life? At the time, the free zone is a common terminology. Now we're talking about business. We're talking about business enablement. We're talking about business development, business facilitation. Such is the vision of the one who leads the country and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly a beautiful morning. Yes, it is a little warm, but it is a beautiful morning to be here. It is a ribbon cutting. It's an official opening, but yes, what we're seeking to establish here is that we also cut ribbons for places and spaces that are functional. And today we're going to hear about the functionalities. So with that said, may I now invite the Honorable Little Tani Shirley to come forward. He is the chairman of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica. He will offer the official welcome and remarks. Mr. Chairman.
Can take it. Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Prime Minister, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Ministers of Government, Honorable Aubin Hill, Industry, Investment and Commerce, Honorable Desmond McKenzie, Local Government and Community Development, the many ministers who have graciously apologized for not being here due to having attend cabinet today. I greet our FCJ Board of Directors, Managing Director Dr. Donald Farquharson, our clients who are here participating in this ceremony today, our chairman and head of entities, FCJ staff, our various stakeholders, members of the media, our security officers, our community friends and stakeholders who have supported us in making this campus a very special place today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I greet you all and greet you well. Another month, another ribbon cutting ceremony. As I'm uttering those words, Most Honorable Prime Minister, I think of this poem. The heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward throughout the night. Mr. Prime Minister, we have been putting in the work, and now we are reaping the rewards. One of the first mandates you gave us as a new board in 2016 was to resuscitate and restructure FCJ to become a modern agency offering cutting-edge facilities to our clients, optimize our existing assets to ensure that the agency became financially viable. Mr. Prime Minister, it wasn't difficult to realize that Garmex Freezone, the largest industrial complex in Jamaica, was one of our most important assets, and it required our immediate attention to ensure that this campus was developed to optimize our greenfield space and be redeveloped as a modern campus for businesses to grow. If you recall, Honorable Prime Minister, we were one of the first companies to venture out into development during the COVID-19 period when we broke ground right here for the construction of these buildings. If you recall, as well, the major challenges we face with the high water table in this area and a drainage system which we recognize was built on the existing buildings, we had our work fairly cut out for us. This forced us to rescope the project to address the drainage system, to relocate it from under the buildings, which allow for better maintenance. In executing the foundation for the various buildings, we had to contend with this high water table that required a constant pumping of water. This required our engineering and construction crew to apply best practices. While the infrastructure challenges hindered the start of construction, they did not prevent us from executing our planned development of the area. Coupled with that, however, we were in a space which was occupied by tenants. We had to ensure that the construction activities did not impact their operations. I must pause here to recognize the architect and project management team, Plexus Architects, and construction company, Tankwell, for a job well done. Please give them a round of applause. Challenges aside, here stand phase one of the Garmex Redevelopment and Expansion Project. 126,000 square feet of space comprising 31 units, 3 warehouses, 6 mixed-use units, and 22 mini warehouses for micro, small, and medium-sized businesses. Please give us a big round of applause also. Thank you. Phase 1 also saw the development of the main entrance and security posts located on the Industrial Terrace. Those of you who would have passed here would see this very delightful, significant frontage, justifying that within the campus we are cutting-edge facilities. Because of the significant demand for space, especially space in the productivity sector, it did not take long for these units to be fully occupied, along with our existing units, which were given major facelifts, in addition to the entire campus roadworks, drainage system, and landscaping upgrade. This project was self-financed with a spend of 1.3 billion Jamaican dollars. And Mr. Prime Minister, I'm pleased to report that we have been yielding almost $200 million per annum in revenue for the newly built spaces, providing our investment to be financially viable. With the new branding of the campus, offering the most convenient container loading and offloading facilities, the most modern security system, allowing for facial recognition and license plate detection, Garmex Freezone has become one of the most in-demand locations to be commercial businesses, allowing us to consistently enjoy 100% occupancy. Prime Minister, we are definitely not finished yet. We are continuing to toil as great men do, presenting and presently we have commenced infrastructure work for 5.7 acres of greenfield land on the west side of the campus to expand the complex to meet constant demand for commercial space. Thus, phase 2. Phase 3 will see us doing work on the south side at the Marcus Garvey Drive entrance. The works will include the construction of a new entrance, similar to what was done at the Industrial Terrace entrance, built out of several warehouses and a commercial building block. Phase 4, Mr. Prime Minister, will see us turning our attention to our aged warehouse units to retrofit them into modern buildings, which will allow for vertical expansion. Prime Minister, FCJ is big on environmental, social, and governance structure. So we are not only talking the talk, we are walking the walk to ensure that this campus is retrofitted with green technologies. We will be implementing water harvesting and solar energy as alternate energy, especially to support our manufacturers. Let me use this opportunity to boast that FCJ now have completed phase 1 of ISO 9001:2015 certification. We will complete phase 2 in August, and by September of this year, we are hoping to be fully compliant. That compliance in terms of our customer service, quality and regulatory and legal responsibilities. On behalf of the Board of Directors, Mr. Prime Minister, I want to thank you for the guidance given and the confidence you have in us to execute this critical mandate of supporting economic growth and job creation throughout the development of space and, in recent time, urban centers. I want to also thank the FCJ management team led by my dynamic managing director, Dr. Donald Farquharson, and staff of FCJ for their consistent support in meeting the company's mandate. Mr. Prime Minister, you have mandated us to execute several other projects, and we are looking forward to seeing you at our next groundbreaking and ribbon-cutting ceremony. See you then, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And as I indicated at the beginning, here we are once again cutting a ribbon. And this ribbon cutting is happening in such a way and in such style that the spaces that are already occupied, you can now have testimony as to the value and the impact of the economic growth and job creation ministry of the government of Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. And so, at this point, we will now hear from a client of Garmex. The remarks will come from Mr. Poran Daswani from Groovy Bay Distributors. Please make him feel welcome.
Good morning, Most Honorable Prime Minister Holness, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. I'm far from being a public speaker, but was asked to share a few words on my experience as one of the tenants of Garmex Freezone. I'd like to start by expressing my heartfelt thanks to the Garmex Freezone for the incredible support you have given my small business. My name is Puran Daswani, and I own a small distribution business called G-Bay Distributors that distributes light furniture and household goods. As a small business owner, every bit of efficiency matters, and your warehouse facilities have made a huge difference for us. From fast, reliable storage solutions to smooth logistics, you have helped us serve our customers better and grow with confidence. The location of the facility is very well suited by the wharf for importers. The units are well structured for ease of entry and exit of containers. The airy structure and high ceilings allow for expansion of storage while maintaining costs. The security is dependable and efficient. This is the key for us small business owners in Jamaica. Your team has always been responsible, professional, and easy to work with. It's rare to find a partner who understands the needs of a small business so well. Thank you again for being such a key part of our journey. We truly appreciate it. I look forward to much more support initiatives by the government to continue to encourage small businesses to thrive and succeed and contribute positively to the economy of Jamaica. Thank you.
So now, to lighten the moment a little bit, we are indeed in West Kingston, the mecca of culture, dance, performing arts, and talent that really speak to the heritage nature of our capital city. So dating back to 1979, we're talking about the dance troupe, the Tivoli dance troupe. There are names like Janet Grant Woodham that you have to associate with this entity. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we now present another piece of the talented cultural reality of Western Kingston. We saw the marching band earlier on, and now to present a cultural item is the Tivoli Dance Troupe. Please make them feel welcome.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. So tired of the straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. The storm keeps on twisting, keep on building the lies that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. it's easier to believe in this sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie, in the arms of the angel.
The dance troupe. How appropriate is the lineup of this program? To now have, immediately following the dance troupe, the Member of Parliament of Western Kingston, the gentleman who is no doubt creating waves, offering opportunities for empowerment, encouragement, inspiration, not only for the youth, but for the entire citizenry of Western Kingston. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome to the stage the Honorable Desmond Mackenzie, Member of Parliament, Minister of Local Government and Community Development.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Most Honorable Prime Minister, Chairman of the Factories Corporation and other executive members of the Factories Corporation, specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is truly the day that the Lord has made. I'm very happy to welcome you all to the great constituency of West Kingston. This ribbon-cutting ceremony is of tremendous importance to us. The Free Zone has been a long-standing integrated feature in the lives of the people of West Kingston. It truly came to light in the decades of the 1980s under the leadership of the former Member of Parliament for the constituency and Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga. With the creation of Garmex Academy for Apparel Skills at this very complex, and later the Factories Corporation in 1987, the stage was well set for Garmex Freezone to have certified skilled workers to carry out the industrial requirements of the international commercial partners. There are still many of us who can remember the large number of workers who would be seen in the mornings and evenings entering and leaving the free zone, which is consistent to the testament of increasing economic activities and job creation. It is the most modern of the generating life-changing opportunities for the people of West Kingston and beyond. And it complements the traditional opportunities that were available through a network of market stores and shops and other commercial ventures in the constituency. I must make the point that West Kingston is considered the commercial hub of Jamaica. Today's ceremony is highly appreciated. The development in its economic and social stage will definitely have an impact on the lives of the people in the community and adjoining areas. The significant expansion of employment opportunities, and it has widened the door to prosperity that this government is providing to our citizens. It is also a special day of pride for me as the Member of Parliament, as this is to confirm yet another vital bit of infrastructure in the constituency of West Kingston. I want to say special thanks to Tanny Shirley and the team, and to the Factories Corporation who have been driving the expansion of development. Finally, I want to say to the Most Honorable Prime Minister, thank you for this special vision, and particularly the hallmark of your leadership of this country has played a significant role in generating and stimulating interest. I am certain, Mr. Prime Minister, that the Most Honorable Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga, Jamaica's 5th Prime Minister, who actually has his hands on both of us at some point in time, would be proud of your development in leading the charge, in building a legacy of economic expansion, social development, national and international confidence that will stand unchallenged far into the future. I happily endorse this special project and look forward to the completion of Phase 2, which will result in even more industrial and commercial space being developed and greater economic opportunities for my constituents and the wider Jamaica. On behalf of the people of West Kingston, I say thank you all.
Thank you very much, Member of Parliament, Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a point in the program where the next speaker needs absolutely no introduction. And I dare say that because if it is here in Jamaica, if it is in the region, and I dare say internationally, he's making waves and he's being recognized not only as the builder, but as someone who is considered the innovator, someone who creates the impact that our island home Jamaica needs at this time. Making the difference and ensuring that creativity and innovation is in everything that he does and that the people of Jamaica is benefiting from. I speak of no other than Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me thank the Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Fabian Brown, of the ceremony, and I assure you I will follow suit. Allow me to acknowledge my ministers, Minister Hill and Minister Mackenzie, who is also the Member of Parliament for this area. I must say a special word for the Honorable Littleton Tanny Shirley, Chairman of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, and other board members who are here. Tanny is a special person. He puts his heart and soul into this. You know, when you are in government, you try to be dispassionate. In a sense, in one sense, you're not expected to run government's business as if it is your own. But in another sense, you know, you are actually expected to run the business as if it is your own, so that you get the most out of it. So for Tanny, you know, the Factories Corporation has become his passion project. He's very passionate about it and wants to see the Factories Corporation grow with project after project. And I say this because, you know, I have had to temper him and at the same time encourage him. And we have been working together for quite some time. And I must say that he has used the position at the Factories Corporation for the benefit of the people of Jamaica. And especially when we talk about the Morant Bay Urban Center. He's very passionate about that one in particular. Let me also acknowledge the words of Mr. Puran Daswani. Thank you for your words of endorsement and your own testimony as to how this factory has been useful to your endeavors. Heads of agencies who are here to observe, members of the public and stakeholders, employees of the Factories Corporation, and business owners generally who have occupied this plant. It is indeed a true pleasure to stand here today on the grounds of the Garmex Freezone as we celebrate another bold new chapter in Jamaica's industrial journey. Let this ribbon-cutting ceremony serve as a signal of our collective ambition to position Jamaica as a global logistics, manufacturing, and investment destination. Let me begin by commending the team at the Factories Corporation of Jamaica for their vision, their persistence, and their leadership. The FCJ continues to distinguish itself as a strategic arm of government, mobilizing industrial lands, facilitating commerce, and creating employment, while ensuring that public assets yield tangible benefits to our people. Garmex is a shining example of what can be achieved when public enterprise is powered by purpose and disciplined execution. Nearly 5 decades ago, the Garmex Freezone was established. Can you imagine that? This location, this plant, is 50 years, more than 50 years old. And since then, it has been the cornerstone of industrial development in Jamaica. It has become a catalyst for job creation, particularly in the 1980s and early 90s, employing at its peak over 12,000 Jamaicans. Many families in and around the corporate area can trace their household stability and upward mobility to the opportunities made available right here. Over the years, this complex has evolved to serve as a hub for manufacturing, logistics, warehousing, and even education and healthcare. Today, it is the most diverse free zone in Jamaica and the largest commercial industrial complex on the island. We're gathered here today to officially open Phase 1 of the Garmex Redevelopment and Expansion Project. Phase 1 alone has delivered 126,000 square feet of new industrial space across 17 enterprises in multiple sectors. It includes newly built mini warehouses for small and micro businesses constructed at a cost of $1.1 billion. And while that figure sounds large, the real achievement is that this was fully funded from the resources of the FCJ. There was no borrowing to do this. That is prudent public financial management, which leads to smart and sustainable development. In just over 2 years since the new facilities became operational, they have generated more than $340 million in rental income. These revenues will be reinvested to finance additional phases of expansion. So let us pause and consider the meaning of this. A self-financing government enterprise delivering quality infrastructure, creating jobs, and expanding economic opportunity, all without putting a strain on the taxpayer. That is the kind of governance we aim to institutionalize across public sector. We are building for the future without taking from the future. So in effect, we are, this generation of public enterprise will be a net contributor to the wealth of future generations. And that is how it should be. Today's ribbon cutting marks not only the formal opening of phase 1, but the launching pad for phases 2 and 3, which together will represent nearly 500,000 square feet of new commercial and industrial space. Phase 2, at an estimated cost of $3.2 billion, will feature a new Marcus Garvey Drive entrance, a new headquarters for the FCJ. Now, I will say this here. I don't like vanity projects. So you are going to have to justify why the FCJ needs a new headquarters. I'm sure it would make it into my speech without there having been some thought and justification. But I think for the public listening, when we make investments, we always make them with the best use case possible, both for what you intend to build and for what other purpose we could have used the funds for. And that is why we have a very robust public sector investment management process, because there are so many things that are competing for funds. So we have to make the best case. So yes, I know you're paying rent where you are and in facilities that may not be as salubrious as to accord to the standards of performance of the FCJ. But before we build these things, we have to make sure. So it will also include multi-level warehouse buildings. And I like this one, but again, make sure it's not a vanity project. A modern high-rise commercial complex. So you only build the floors that you need. Otherwise, you will be paying rent for it if you don't get them rented. So everything that we do must be properly scoped for the best use. Now, and all of what we're doing is catered to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. In fact, almost all of this here is MSMEs. That has been the directive given to the FCJ. And that's why we have a factories corporation. So, 90% of what we do will be catered to the MSMEs. So, in addition to the standard fare of spaces for the provisioning for food outlets, medical centers, banking facilities, and other facilities that are required for any modern light manufacturing and small business enterprise, we are also seeking to develop this area to be considered as a place where technology firms can come and locate. So phase 3 will see the transformation of 5.7 acres of vacant greenfield land into 150,000 square feet of productive space at a cost of $1.5 billion. I'm pleased to report that contracts have already been signed and work is well underway, with an initial investment of over $240 million. These two phases combined are projected to create up to 400 jobs in the construction phase and as many as 3,000 new permanent jobs across the campus over the next 5 years. This project reflects the government's economic strategy in action. It embodies our commitment to catalyzing the productivity of our people and our determination to build a modern, competitive economy. What is being built here is the infrastructure of prosperity. Now, Tani and your board, I am happy to see that over the next 5 years you will be creating 3,000 permanent jobs. But I'm a little bit concerned. Where are you going to find all the people? So you have to start from now working in very close collaboration with Heart Trust NSTA to make sure that you have the requisite labor force. We still have a number of Jamaicans who could be in the labor force, but they have opted not to be in the labor force. And we still have a number of Jamaicans who are in the labor force. They may be employed, but they are technically underemployed because they do not have skills, but more critically, they do not have certification, because some of them have skills, but they need certification in order to get into the employment that they would want. So there is still some amount of technical work that is needed to be done within our demographics to ensure that we maximize our local population in the labor pool. And that is what HEART has been tasked with. And so whenever I deliver these kinds of presentations to tourism, to the BPO sector, and now to FCJ, my direction to the board of directors and to the executive management is that for your planning, it's not just about making sure that you meet the public sector investment requirements. It's not just about meeting the PBMA requirements and the other requirements to ensure accountability, but you also now have to start to think about your labor requirements, because the truth is that our labor situation is now becoming a constraint on growth. So, you know, it's a good problem to have. Before, the constraint on growth was our fiscal situation. We have largely solved that. Then there was a constraint of crime on growth. We are solving that now. So the binding constraint now is labor availability on growth. There are still some other binding constraints. One of them is energy. And very soon you will be hearing some things that we intend to say about how we are going to relieve the energy constraint on growth. But you can see that very systematically we are doing what it takes to ensure that Jamaica can attain rapid growth. Right now we are on a very, it's still an upward trending, but very slow and largely flat growth trajectory. We intend to break out of that by releasing all the binding constraints on our growth horizon. So what we are doing here with the Factories Corporation and building out our urban infrastructure and our productive and industrial infrastructure, that too will break the constraints on growth. And since I'm on that point, what the FCJ is doing could not be more opportune, because the world is changing, and it is changing very rapidly. And sometimes policymakers don't always see the change coming until it is upon them. Thankfully, this administration we're very strategic. And we're always not just looking at what is in front of us, but what is way beyond us. So we prepare for what is coming, so when it happens, we get the benefit seamlessly. So there is a great push for nearshoring and friendly shoring and a rethink of where the manufacturing capabilities of the world should exist. Jamaica should not wait until investors are knocking on our door to say, we want to come and locate here. We have to build here and then wave frantically and say, hey, we have facilities, capabilities, and the necessary fiscal framework. Here, come here. And that is what we are doing. So even the space that we have built in Morant Bay, yes, it is largely for local investment and for locals to participate, but eventually, inevitably, it will become attractive to overseas investors who will want to locate their operations here, use Jamaican labor, use Jamaican management, use the Jamaican built factory, use our ports, and use our brand to export goods. And that is a sweet spot that you want to be in. Now we are there, not fully, but we are there in terms of logistics. We are there in terms of BPOs. But we need to move to the next step of the ladder, where we are taking on not just light manufacturing, but technology-based manufacturing, where we are getting involved in design, where we are getting involved in technology development. And that is where we want to go. And a large part of that, you must have the infrastructure to accommodate these investments. And that infrastructure, it is not just these buildings. These buildings are good, but they are just a small part of it. You need the roadways. You need the ports. You need the telecommunications. You need the energy. And as you grow, you're going to need a housing to support a population that surrounds this productive infrastructure. And if you look at what the government is doing, you will see that the government has a strong investment presence in all of this. So Jamaica is well poised, and I like to say that Jamaica is at an inflection point, meaning that we are at a point where the effort that we are putting out relative to the results, you're going to start to see greater results coming in relative to the effort that we have put in. Mind you, that we have been putting in the efforts for 9 years, and you are just now at the point where the results are going to start to spike. And you would see that in our investment in national security. And you're seeing now that spike in the results because of the effort that we have put in. You will see that through what we have done with our urban center development plan, the first of which is the Morant Bay Urban Center. We have moved on now to the second, which is the Boundbrook. And then after that, we have others planned for Negril. We have planned for Salem in Ocho Rios. We have plans for Trelawney, Falmouth. Right across Jamaica, we're going to take on all our urban centers and we're going to redevelop them in ways that will create local economies in their area. So, to our local and international investors watching this project unfold, I say again, Jamaica our door fling wide open for business. Or should I say it more appropriately? Jamaica is open and eager for your business. The Garmex redevelopment is a model of the type of investment-ready, strategically located, and well-governed infrastructure that awaits your capital. Partner with us. To the team at FCJ, Chairman Shirley, your board and your management and technical team, I thank you for your clarity of purpose, and you have shown what can be done when institutions are run with efficiency and integrity. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, and the Port Authority of Jamaica, and the Special Economic Zone Authority. Thank you for the cross-cutting agency collaboration that has made this and other industrial developments possible. We have several other projects that are at various stages of implementation, and we must make sure that the momentum continues. While I commend you for the collaboration and progress made thus far, I charge you to redouble your efforts in increasing the speed of delivery and execution. We must ensure that the public bureaucracy is not a barrier to progress, but a seamless enabler of our development goals. We need to continue working together with greater urgency, efficiency, and shared commitment to delivering results that drive Jamaica's growth and prosperity forward. And as I see here, the chairman of the Port Authority and other members of the Port Authority who are here, there is another big project that is slated to, we are slated to break ground on that major project, something that has been in the works going probably 18 years, and that is the Caymanas Special Enterprise Zone. We have worked long and hard, several stops and starts, but Chairman John, I think we are almost there. Minister Hill, we are almost there. And that will be a game changer for the Jamaican economy when we are able to open that purpose-built special economic zone. The way to look at it is that it will have the effect on the Jamaican economy that the Garmex Freezone had on the Jamaican economy when it was opened in 1976. That's the kind of profound change that we expect that the new Caymanas Special Economic Zone will have. So, let us continue to build our country. Let us continue to choose Jamaica, and let us continue to invest in our own country. God bless you all, and thank you.
You'll agree with me that's visionary leadership. And indeed, visionary leadership requires innovation and creativity in order to achieve relevance. And ladies and gentlemen, as Jamaicans all, we can feel the success of this relevant visionary leader, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. Another round of applause, please. We're now at the point where we are going to do the ribbon cutting. And not only is it that there's been great development here, but we heard about the entranceway. Image is everything. And so we are going to proceed to do the ribbon cutting. Ladies and gentlemen, the audience is going to be asked to stay in your position because I understand that there's going to be a projection on the screen behind me. The Tivoli High School drummers is going to enable the vibe and energy at the gate. As we invite the managing director to lead the team to the position for the ribbon cutting. So, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Minister Hill, Member of Parliament, Minister Mackenzie, Honorable Tani Shirley, Chairman of the Board, is going to be escorted by the Managing Director to the space of the ribbon cutting. They're going to be joined also by FCJ's Corporate Secretary, Ms. Dirkett Cooper is going to also join the team. We go now, please. Following the ribbon cutting, the team will continue on to the client village, where there will be a tour of the client's facilities. I think at this point, I am going to thank all of you for your presence, your participation in this event. It is a moment in time when we stop and celebrate yet another achievement in our beloved country, Jamaica. So I want to thank you very much, as you may want to just remain in your spaces to view the ribbon cutting, and then you could also proceed on getting acquainted with the space so you can share the word beyond these space, so these walls, or these environs rather. So on behalf of the board, the management, and the team at FCJ, may I thank you very much for a good morning.